CELA presents. Navigating the CELA website with JAWS or NVDA.
So without further ado, Iwana Gandrabur is a CELA peer trainer and who supports has supported patrons through our Envoy Connect and also Smart Speaker Pilot Project. She continues to assist users with the Envoy Connect service, and Iwana also works with CELA member services to support library staff. So I'm going to turn it over to Iwana now.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you today. So what are we going to cover today? We have the following, I'll give you a short outline. First of all, I'll show you how to open the CELA webpage. Then I will give you an overview of the layout of the webpage in general. Then we will get into the nitty-gritty of things and we'll review some of the important keyboard shortcuts that I will use to make navigation more efficient. I should note here that you will be receiving a document containing all the shortcuts used in this webinar, and you can also find them on the webinar page of this presentation. Moving on, then we will do a login. We will see how to log into our CELA account. Then we will have an overview of my account page. We will change and explore some communication settings. Then we will do a simple search, and we will apply filters to this search, and then also we can add a book to the bookshelf or borrow it. We will then explore the search preferences, the advanced search option. Then we will see how to browse by category, and also how to access the new titles or the recommended reading or the top 5 titles. So other ways to find content for CELA. Then we will look at the magazines, and then I will discuss some help resources, time permitting, where to find more information about how to use your screen reader. So without further ado, I will start sharing my screen. And we should be seeing I've opened the Edge browser. Google Chrome should work the same way. And I will now go to the address bar.
Control-L, address and search bar edit.
To go to the address bar, you can do it in a couple of ways. I used Control+L pressed together, and I will type CELA library.ci.
Loading page. CELA Microsoft Edge Profile 1. CELA Microsoft Edge Profile 1 page. Vertical bar.
Just to make sure that this is a good practice I recommend, is to always maximize your screen, because sometimes the interface when the screen isn't maximized can change and things are laid out a bit differently.
Context menu.
So I press Alt plus space and then X to make sure that the window is maximized.
Leaving menus. CELA Microsoft Edge Profile.
So we are on the CELA main page. The page, as some of you probably already know, is kind of divided in 3 main sections. The top section and the bottom section are fixed. They kind of contain the some main navigation options and accessibility options, and basically the content doesn't update much there. In the middle section, we have more dynamic content that depends on where we are on the page, on the search results, recommendations. So that middle section will be the part that is updated more often. Let's go. Basically, also, I should note that when you are navigating, you could theoretically navigate the whole website just using your arrow keys. However, it is like trying to open every door in a building until you find the right door. And it's much better if you know exactly where you're going and go directly to the door you're looking for. So, but just to give you an overview of what's on this page.
CELA. Heading Level 2 Service Alert.
In case today we have a service alert for
Heading Level 3 Website Maintenance September 10th, 10 p.m. on
I am
Tuesday,
pressing the
September
down
10th from 10 to 11.
I am pressing the down
For
arrow.
list of 3 items. Same page link skip to
A very useful link on all of the CELA web pages and other pages as well, if they're well laid out, is the link that skips to the main content. In this case, it will skip all that top section and it will get you right into the middle section of the page to the main content so it's a quick way to get there.
Accessibility Preferences button menu collapsed.
So here we have a menu with accessibility preferences.
Visited link accessibility tips.
You have tips.
List end. Accessibility toolbar navigation region end.
Now we are helpfully being told that we've exited the accessibility toolbar.
Visited link graphic CELA.
And then we'll get to, after the CELA title with the
Heading
homepage.
Public Live list of 3 link register. Visited link login.
Oh, and we found the login, which is our next task. There is also underneath it
Link.
Français.
the link to change language. And then we go to the main menu, which has the newspapers, magazines, books.
List visited link home. Link newspapers. Link magazine. Link recommended.
Recommended.
Link for libraries. Link help.
Help.
List end.
And so on. Okay, so let's review a few useful shortcuts that we will be using all through this presentation. So the first thing that is very useful to know is how to open a list of links. And you do that both in JAWS and Narrator by pressing the JAWS or the Narrator key. That can be your insert key, or on your laptop, it's the caps lock key, plus the F7, the function 7. And this will present you the list of keys, and then you can navigate by first letter to the link if you know the name of the link that you're looking for. So we have the list of other types of elements, such as the list of headings, which is insert plus F6. You can also jump from heading to heading by using the letter H, or Shift plus H to move backwards through headings. To jump through form fields, you can press the letter F to move forwards through the form fields on the page. The form fields are where you can enter text, and Shift F to move backwards. For buttons, you use the letter B to move forward through all the buttons on the page, and Shift B to move backwards. We will also use the command to find the drop-down menus or the combo boxes, and you use for this, and we will see them in action. I will use the letter C to go to the next combo box, and Shift plus C to move back. To go to the beginning of the page, which is something we'll often do just to know where we are, it's Control plus Home, and to go to the end is Control plus End. Here I should note that in the NVDA, to go to the top is Shift plus numpad 7, or Shift plus numpad 9 to go to the end. Okay, let's log in.
List end.
I will go to the links list with JAWS plus F7.
Links listed I log.
And I know that the link is called login.
Login 5 of 61.
So I press the letter L.
Loading page. Login CELA. Main region. Username edit. Required. Blank. Enter your CELA username. Type in text. Login CELA.
So helpfully, JAWS has already placed me in the first field, form field. So I can just start typing the username.
Password
Then
edit.
I press
Required.
tab to
Blank.
go to the
Enter
password
password that
field.
accompanies your username. Type in text.
And I press enter when I'm done.
Loading page. My account CELA. Heading level 1 My.
Nice. So when you hear that we have now landed in the My Account page, this confirms us that we have successfully logged in. Actually, I will just turn on the screen.
Both characters and words.
Yeah, screen echo so that you can hear me type as I do it. Let's explore the My Account page. We have a few headings on the My Account page.
My books and magazines heading level 2.
Let's see if this is
My account heading level 1.
So the main heading is My Account at heading level 1. At heading level 2,
My books and magazines heading level 2.
we have our content, books and magazines. And under heading level 3, we will see more detail.
Available zip files for download. Visited heading level 3 link.
So here are available zip files for download and
Holds visited heading level 3 link. Direct to player book.
So and all the different types of content. Let's say I don't want to see all of these contents, but I just want to skip to the next section. If you remember that the books and magazines were at heading level 2, now I can press the number 2 on my keyboard to go to the next heading at the level 2.
Account settings heading level 2.
And this is the next main section of the account, which is the
History. Account settings heading level 2.
account settings. And what do we find here? I'll press the letter H.
Communication preferences. Visited heading level 3 link.
Communication preferences.
Search preferences heading level 3. Proof of disability for access to FAQ heading level 2.
Okay, so we have a few things. The communication preferences, the search preferences. These are basically all options that you want to set and forget. You set your preferences the way you like them, and then hopefully you don't need to go into those sections of your account too often. So speaking of this, I want to demo a relatively new feature that some of you might not know that it exists, which I find very useful. And I will go to the headings of communication.
Proof of disability.
Preferences.
Search communication preferences. Visited heading level 3 link.
So this is a heading at level 3. So the more you get to know the CELA webpage, you can find information more quickly by, for example, knowing that this is a heading at the level 3. I will press enter.
Communication preferences heading level 3 link visited. Loading page. Communication preferences CELA. Communication preferences CELA. Main region. Communication.
Okay, it's repeating itself.
Update your email address heading level 3.
So let's see what options do we have.
Communication preferences heading level 1. Update your
We can
email address.
Update your email address, which I don't want to do.
Password reset heading level 3. Notifications for available items heading level 3.
This is the one I wanted to show you, the notification for available items.
Notify me via email when zip files I've requested become available to download. Checkbox checked.
So this is already checked. I have, it asks you if you want to be notified rather than wondering when your titles that you've requested as zip files are available. You can check this checkbox by pressing spacebar or uncheck it. It's a toggle. So
notify me via email when zip files I've requested become available to download. Checkbox not checked.
Now it's not checked, and I will press spacebar.
Checked.
Now it's checked. And this is only for the zip files, not for any other type of formats.
Notify me via email when zip files I've requested become available to download. Notify me via email when direct-to-player items I've requested become available. Checkbox checked.
Is it too fast? Maybe I'll slow down a little more.
Slower.
Okay. So the next checkbox we have is the same thing, but for items that are on your direct-to-player bookshelf. And again, we could check or uncheck with the spacebar. I will tab to the next control.
Save notification settings button.
So this button is a save, allowing us to save our preferences, because if we check and uncheck all these parameters, but we don't press save, then they won't be remembered. I will press spacebar. You can also press enter.
Loading page. Communication preferences CELA. Communication which.
So this is a nice little trick that I find very useful in terms of, so that this way, whenever your items arrive on your bookshelf, then you can receive an email at your specified email and know that they're ready to download. Okay, so let's move on to the simple search. And I will go to the top of the page with Control Home.
Communication preferences CELA.
Now we are not at the top of, we are still in the My Account page, but the nice thing is that there is an edit field, so I would use the letter E for edit.
Search by title, author, or keyword edit.
And it brings me directly to the search by title, author, or keywords. And so it's a very useful thing. You go to the top of the page and you press E and you land right at the search edit field. I will press enter to get ready to enter name.
Communication preferences heading level 1.
Oh, let's write, I just read a fantasy book.
K-G-U-Y G-A-V-I-E-E-I-E-L.
Hey, Guy Gabriel. Let's see
Loading
what
page.
happens. And I pressed enter.
Title search results CELA. Title search results CELA. Loading complete. Loading page. Escape.
Okay, it's going in and out.
Service alert heading level 2. Title search results.
So I know that the title search results are, and in general, most main sections of the page are at heading level 1. So I pressed 1 on my keyboard to go straight to the title search result section. And we can look what we have here.
The Darkest Road Vianover Tapestry number 3 heading level 2 link.
So now each title would be at the heading level 2. So just one hierarchy below the main section of search results.
Sailing to Serantium Serant River of Stars heading level 2 link.
And so on and so forth. A very interesting feature that we can use when we search books is to filter our results, because we might not want, we can filter by certain criteria. We can go to the filters by invoking the links list, insert plus F7 or caps lock
Links
F7,
list.
depending on your setup. And the link we're interested in is called jump to filters. So if I press J,
Join our educator
oh,
and
no. Actually, let's write JU. No?
You jump to filters.
Yes, it
18
did.
of 62.
Okay, it went. Jump to filters. I will press enter.
Page has 8 regions, 41 headings and filters.
This link you can also find just right under the main heading of the search results.
Heading level 2 filter results.
So now we are at the list of headings. The filters are at the level 2, and each type of filter is at a heading level 3.
Collection heading level 3.
Here we can decide whether we want books only from the CELA collection.
List of 1 CELA checkbox not checked.
Or Bookshare.
CELA list and heading level 3 type.
Oh, and apparently this one only shows me
CELA
CELA
checkbox
checks.
not checked.
Now let's see next category.
Type heading level list of 1 book checkbox not book.
We can have books.
English checkbox check.
Now I can go from, because all these filters are checkboxes, so I will use the letter X for checkboxes to go from checkbox to checkbox. You can think of it as, to remember, when you check a checkbox, you put an X sometimes in it, so X as a checkbox.
French checkbox checked.
So I do not want any French titles. I will press spacebar.
Loading page. List with 2 items. French checkbox checked. To clear title search results.
So every time you change a filter, the page reloads. Let's find our jump to filters again.
Links list. Jump to filters.
I went to the links list and then I pressed JU quickly, and I went right to the filters. Let's go to
Collection heading, type heading, language, formats,
formats.
heading,
That's an interesting one.
combo box collapse.
This is
choose.
the first time we're seeing a combo box on our webpage. And what is a combo box? It is kind of a
Title search
Oh,
results, CELA.
why did it?
Leaving
Oh, I
menus.
see.
Escape. Heading level 2 service alert.
I'm going back to the
Links
search
list.
filters.
Jump to
Now we remember that was a
Filter.
combo box, so I will look for the letter C,
formats, combo
and I went
box
straight to the formats. What is a combo box? It is a list of items that right now it is collapsed, and I will expand it by pressing
App bar, toolbar, settings and more menu. Escape. Alt down arrow. Settings and
No,
more.
excuse me.
Escape. Leaving title is title.
Okay, let's go back
Escape.
to
Title is title search results. This feature is only escape. Copilot control plus shift settings and more. Alt
no
plus
way.
F button.
I just
title
jumped.
search
Okay, we're
results,
back
CELA.
in the search results. I just tabbed around until we're back where we want to be.
Links list. Jump to
Okay,
formats combo box
Alt
collapsed.
down
Open
arrow
list.
to open a list. Anytime you have a combo box that you need to open, you press Alt plus down arrow.
Daisy audio. To move to an item, press the Braille contracted. To move.
So we have Daisy audio and Braille contracted.
Choose. To Daisy audio.
I will
To
choose
move to an
Daisy
item, press the
audio and press enter.
loading page.
By the way, I
Title search.
was reviewing these
page.
items with the arrow keys. So once I opened the list with Alt down arrow, I used the down arrow key to go through the available choices.
Collection heading, type heading, language heading level 3.
I am pressing the H to explore other categories, letter H to go through headings of the different filters.
Formats heading level, fiction heading level 3.
The
audience heading, audio narration heading level 3.
This is a very important one, audio narration. And here we can decide whether
list of one human narrated checkbox not checked.
Whether we only want human narrated or
human list and heading level 3.
Automatic synthetic narration. Now, so let's say we decide on a book. I will go back to the search results.
No more headings at title search results heading level 1.
So I pressed Shift 1, knowing that I'm going back to the main search results. So I'm heading level 1.
The Darkest Road.
Let's say The Darkest Road.
By Daisy Audio CD. Daisy Canadian Fiction.
I'm arrowing down.
Human narrated audio.
It says to me that it's human. And now we have a summary. You can button to show the whole summary. And now we have a combo box that allows us to choose the type of format we want to get this book in.
Open list, Daisy Audio CD.
I will choose Daisy Audio Direct to Player.
To move to an
I will tab.
Combo box,
I'll
Daisy
tab
Audio
again.
Direct to Player. Get it.
And here we have the Get It button. I can press Enter or Spacebar on it. I could have also pressed the letter B because I know that this is a button.
Get It confirmation dialog heading level 1. Item added to your bookshelf.
So I press the letter B to find the OK button.
Return to...
Now, let's look at something that is similar but different. All these filters, we can explore all the different categories of books, and you can filter them after performing your search. However, what is probably the best way to go about is to decide what books to set this, what is called the search preferences in your My Account settings. So we will go there and set our search preferences that you set only one time. How shall we do this? I will go to the links list. And one of the fixed links on every page at the top is My Account. So I will press letter M.
Member Library, My Account.
So I pressed M plus, and then right afterwards Y. And I ended up at the My Account link. I press Enter.
Loading page. My Account CELA. My
Let's
Account
explore the personal preferences.
Search preferences heading level 3 link.
I was lucky. I just pressed the H once and I happened to land on the search preferences. These are also links, so you could have gone to the links again. Let's do that just to see. There is never just one way of doing things, and there is no right or wrong way. So you can find what works best for you. I will go to the links list.
Links listed dialog.
And
links
look for search preferences. So I'll write SE.
Search tips. 16 of 4. Search preferences.
I pressed S again and I found search preferences.
Loading page. Create search preferences CELA. Create. Group star. Heading level 2 collection. New notification.
Okay.
Bookshare checkbox not checked.
So here we have something that is pretty similar. All the options that we explored in the filters, but we set them once and we remember. So if I know that I want to only see books from CELA and not from Bookshare, then
Bookshare checkbox not checked.
I would make sure that the Bookshare is unchecked. I will add Bookshare just to see.
Collection group. Bookshare checkbox checked. To clear check mark.
Okay.
Bookshare CELA checkbox not checked.
CELA is, if none of them are checked, then it's assumed that both will be available.
CELA. Group and group star. Heading level 2 language. English checkbox checked. French checkbox checked. Language
I don't want French, let's say.
French. Afrikaans checkbox.
Oh, and we have a bunch of other languages. Let's see if I can skip them.
Format heading level 2.
See, each type,
Language format.
each different category is at a heading level.
Link about our formats. Human narrated audio checkbox check.
That's probably something that many of you might want, is to limit your searches to only human narrated audio.
Synthetic audio checkbox not checked.
See, already it's not checked for me.
Human transcribed Braille contract.
But we have many more options for Braille. For what type of Braille? Human transcribed, synthetic Braille, Braille codes.
Human transcribed. Automated Braille. Daisy text checkbox.
Let's see.
Word checkbox not.
And on so on.
Type heading level 2.
We have different types of books or magazines.
Reading level heading level.
Reading level adult or children. So you have all sorts of preferences that you can explore and tailor so that when you do a search on the website, it will only show you titles that match your criteria.
Book covers FAQ heading level. Book covers heading level.
I will now find the button that is saving our preferences, and because it's a button, what are we going to do? I will press the letter B.
Save button.
And I landed exactly where I wanted on the save
Confirmation
button.
dialog heading level 1.
Confirmation
Your
dialog.
search preferences have been updated.
Nice. It tells me that have been updated. Probably there's an OK button.
OK and return to search preference.
Nice. So I pressed the letter B and found the OK button. I press enter.
Loading page. My account CELA.
So we have now covered the search preferences. We can also do what's called an advanced search. And let's find that. We can find it in a couple of ways. I will go to the top of the page, press E to find the first edit field, which is our search results that are on top of every page.
Search by title. Off.
And underneath it, I'll arrow down.
Sort. Combo. Search button. List of 3 link advanced search.
So right under the search button, for the simple search, we have the advanced search.
Search region. List. With
I pressed enter.
Complete. Page has 6 regions, 8 headings and 32 links. There are 6 smart glance.
Okay, all sorts of, it summarizes for me the content of the page.
FAQ head, breadcrumb head, website maintenance, breadcrumb,
yeah.
List visited link home.
The advanced search page is not quite ideally formatted, but basically you can
search, group start,
let's see.
Search index, combo box collapsed select.
So we have a combo box where it tells us, do you want to search whatever your terms only in the title?
Open list.
I press Alt down arrow to see what choices we have.
Author.
You can search by author.
Title / series. Genre / ISBN.
So you can perform by, I pressed escape to exit this combo box of various titles.
Keywords edit.
So here I press tab to go to the next search. It would be the keywords that you would look for, kind of like in the simple search, but here we specified that we want to only look in a certain field.
Do not apply my saved search preferences checkbox not checked.
That's an interesting one. if you find that you want to, for this search only, forget all the preferences we just set before, we would check this checkbox and every preference would be like reset. So you can just, for one advanced search, look at different types of results. Okay, so we've explored all the various ways that you can search. Let's look at the browse by category. So you can also, sometimes you don't know a book that you want to read. You don't know a title. You just want to browse.
Advanced search results.
So
CELA.
I will try to go. Let's see if we can find. I go to the
Links list
and I will write BR for browse. Doesn't do it.
R. Fake Twitter. 20.
Do.
Skip to content. Accessibility. CELA. My account. 4 of 32. CELA.
You know what? I will go to the main homepage, which is CELA. That is
Loading.
the homepage.
CELA. 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 Loading.
And
Virtual. Brew. Screen. Escape. Virtual. Bro. Link browse by category.
so let's go. Insert
Links
insert F7. And now I will press B.
Browse by category.
And the first thing that comes up is browse by category. But we had to be in the, we had to exit those search preferences to find it, which kind of makes sense.
Loading page.
So I press enter and we can
Browse by category. CELA. Browse by category. CELA. Main region. Browse by category. Loading complete. Browse. Article. Heading level to most popular categories.
So we have under this heading, as you heard,
List of 10 bullet link mysteries and crime stories, bullet link romance, bullet link science fiction.
all sorts of different subjects. Let's see what's under the next heading.
Browse by all categories. Heading level 3 fiction categories. Link adventure stories.
So you see, you have all sorts of
Canadian
subcategories.
fiction 5 categories. Heading level 4.
So if you want to jump, you have different subcategories and they will always be found at a lower heading. So let's say we have the,
fiction categories. Heading level 3.
So the fiction categories are at heading level 3. So we have a bunch of types of categories at heading level 4. Let's see, I want to jump the fiction category. So I'll go at the next heading level 2.
FAQ heading level 2.
Oh, we jumped completely out of it. Okay, let's go back.
Non-fiction categories. Heading level 3.
Non-fiction categories are also at heading level 3.
No more headings.
And what else can we find?
Biography 24. Business and Canadian.
So you could just press the links and then you would see a list of books and you could continue exploring, let's say.
Link heading level 4 health and medicine 8 categories. List of 8
and it says
items.
that we have 8 categories under health and medicine. So you can
bullet link health and medicine.
You have health and medicine.
Bullet link addiction and abuse.
So all sorts of, and and when you press on one of those links,
history 5 categories.
Let's look at one of them.
List of bullet link ancient history.
Ancient history. So this is a link and I can press on it.
Article region. List with 5 items. Bullet. Loading page. Title search results. CELA.
So it is as if we performed a search and now we see all sorts of titles.
Escape. Service alert heading level 2.
Let's press heading level 1. So I press 1 to go to the search results.
Title search results heading level 1. Same page link jump showing 120 of 5,132 items.
So we've got 5,132 results for ancient history in the CELA collection. So sometimes when you don't know what you want to read, you just want to browse and find your next read that way. Okay, let's see how we're doing with time. Okay, let's explore on the homepage. What else can we find? Because we have a bunch of
titles.
So I will go to the homepage by going to, at the top of the page.
Heading level 2 service alert. Head on Tuesday, September. Title search results heading level 1.
I will go to the links list and write CE for CELA.
CELA, 3 of,
which is our homepage.
Loading page.
And
CELA.
Now let's explore
page.
What we've explored the search, we've explored the browse feature. Let's see what else we can find that could be of interest. And I will go by heading.
Featured titles heading level 2. Art list and link search tips. Article.
So right after the search, And we have some search tips next to the search.
Heading level 2
We
feature
have
type.
featured titles.
Heading level 3 link body check.
And they are updated every month, so it's worth looking at them. In fact, you might see them in the open book if you're subscribed to it in our newsletter.
A Gentleman and a Thief, The Daring Jewel Heists of
So this is another recommended book. Let's go to these are at heading level 3. So I want to go at the heading level 2 to see what other types of things we can find here.
Check it out. Heading level 2.
We can have check it out.
A book lying open, a list of 8 bullet link new titles.
So we have, I was arrowing down. You see the list of new titles recently added.
Bullet link awards.
We can explore the awards page, and here this is also being updated constantly, and you can see what books were nominated and that we can find in our CELA collection.
Bullet link recommended reads.
Recommended reads by our editors.
Bullet link top 5 books for adults.
We can see which ones are the most popular this month for adults.
Bullet link books for kids and bullet link top 5 books for kids. Bullet link top 5.
So you can explore books also by exploring these lists that are curated and updated.
Using CELA heading level 2.
What else would I want? Yeah, okay, but let's discuss a bit the magazines, because some people are looking at books and might not be as familiar with all the different resources that we have. We have a whole collection of magazines in various formats, audio, text, Braille as well. And you can read them either on your Braille display or if you subscribe, you can read them, you can receive them by mail. So they are part of that main menu that is always at the top of the page. But I will go to the links list and write MA for magazines.
Magazines.
And here we are.
Loading page. Magazine CELA. Magazines.
And
overview heading level 2.
Here you have an overview of the magazines, and they are regrouped by, let's hear what it has to say. You have some general information.
Heading level 2 overview. Enjoy CELA's collection of magazines covering a full range of interests from news and current events, business, lifestyle, health, home and food.
So you have general information.
How to read Daisy.
You have information on the next heading, how to read Daisy magazines.
Subscribe to direct-to-player magazines heading level 3. List of bullet subscribe and manage magazine subscriptions in link my account.
So what it tells us now is that if you decide that you search for a magazine and you like it, you can actually subscribe so that the magazine is automatically placed on your bookshelf or sent to you. And it just told me that in order to do that, you have to go to my account, and it helpfully provides the link. If you hear the word link right in front.
Link my account.
So I could now, because I heard the link my account, I could press this and go straight to my account and then find the place where I would look for magazine subscriptions. We have, of course, also newspapers that you can read, and I can do that at the top. Insert F7 for the list of links, and I will write NE for newspapers.
New York Magazine.
Oh no, well, let's go to the top of the list, Control Home.
Skipped.
And NE.
Home. Newspapers, 9 of 3.
Okay, now we hear them. And
loading page.
The newspapers, you will have to read them like you would read any web page. So you can explore the titles here using the tools that I showed you with they're grouped by headings, and you can click on the link to each newspaper and open them and see what you find.
Article.
Let's see.
Overview heading level 2.
So you have an overview heading.
Tips for reading newspapers heading level.
You see you have tips for reading newspapers. I'm just pressing H to browse through the various headings on the page.
A 2Z list of newspapers heading level 2.
You have newspapers grouped in alphabetical order, A to Z.
Newspapers by region heading level 2.
Let's say by region.
Please note, login is required to access newspapers.
Of course, you have to be logged in so that you can access them because they are only reserved for people with print disabilities.
Heading list of 7 bullet same page link national.
So we have different, when you hear the same page link, it just means that it brings me on the same page to a different place.
Bullet same page link international.
I will click on this international link.
Newspaper CELA
And
documents.
it just jumped
Page 6
ahead
international.
on the same page. So just in case you see this visually, it didn't load a new page. We're still on the same page, but it jumped to the section of international papers.
Heading level 3 international list of 3 items. Bullet link New York Times daily. Please note that all New York Times articles appear in 5 sections labeled A.
So you get information about each newspaper.
Bullet link.
Figaro,
So we've got Figaro,
Friend. Bullet link.
Libération,
etc. We have 3 international ones, and of course you can explore at your leisure more of these categories. Now you might feel a bit overwhelmed with all this information. That's why I think it's good that it's recorded and you can get back. But also, how can you find more information about the keyboard shortcuts and all the different strategies that we've used? First of all, in Navigator, sorry, NVDA, sorry, I don't know why I said Navigator. In NVDA, you can press Insert plus N or Navigator key plus N, and in that menu you have the user guide and also the help menu, and from the help menu you find the user guide and also a list of quick reference to all sorts of commands. You have something similar in JAWS as well. Both of them have a very useful feature that is called keyboard in exploring mode of the keyboard, that you press Insert plus 1.
Keyboard help on.
And now I've got the keyboard help on. So let's say I don't remember what does the letter X do, and I will press it.
X moves to the next checkbox form field in a document or web page using the virtual cursor.
Nice. This, of course, it tells me this because I am on a web page. Otherwise, it wouldn't have told me this information. Another very useful feature in JAWS, I don't think you have anything similar in NVDA. I will exit keyboard help.
Keyboard help off.
And you press Insert plus space. You hear, and then J for JAWS.
Search for JAWS commands dialog. Search.
So now what I'm placed is I can search for a JAWS command. So let's say I know I'm looking for something about links, but so I can type here link.
Speak or display link source URL. Link. Search
So
for. Edit.
I
Speaker.
can down arrow.
This keystroke works in the virtual cursor in the mouse over a link to get also
Control plus insert plus move to next unvisited link. U.
So you found all commands in JAWS that are containing the word link. So this is also a way to quickly get to a command that you might want to use in JAWS.
So thank you very much for being here, and please do feel free to get in touch with our contact center anytime you have questions about your service. So
Thank you
thanks,
very much.
Ioana.
And yeah, looking forward to seeing you in other webinars.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and never miss a video.